Keyshawn Johnson. The Falcons take on the Jets in an interconference battle.
The Falcons take on the Jets today at 1 p.m. on Fox 5.
Where legends are made, where champions are crowned, where dreams come true. You're watching Fox Sports.
Big dogs are in the house!
Week crazy 8 in the NFL, and the inmates are running the joint.
More time.
Look out, we're about to hit you.
Right here, the NFL on Fox. The Vikes take their well-oiled machine to the Motor City looking for lions. Randall has the pedal to the metal as Green's purple machine is lean, mean, and looking supreme. While Detroit has dispatched Charlie.
Hey, Charlie!
You better believe he's in charge. The high-flying Falcons wing it to New York, looking for the jet set. These southern birds are frying with Juke and Jamal, leading the jam. While in Gotham, Kingfish Tuna has exiled Foley in favor of Servini. It takes 2 for San Fran as record setters Young and Rice continue to wreck the record books. And if the pair connects for 2 TDs today, they become the league's most dynamic touchdown duo. The Niners are in St. Louis, looking to spank the Rams for a 16th straight time. Arr, matey, the Pirates sail west to nail Nolans. The Bucks have the ground game wired with Warwick running like the wind. While in Gumbo Country, 3 straight losses have the Saints with indigestion. The Bears head to Music City to tangle with Tennessee. Chicago's Ingram is sweet music to Kramer. The Oilers' tune is played on the ground by Eddie, through the air with McNair.
If you like a lot of passing and some high-scoring games, then you've come to the right place. We've got the Niners, Jerry Rice, primed to set yet another NFL record. Others will see this year's most exciting offense, the Minnesota Vikings. And can Falcons coach Dan Reeves lead his team to a New York sweep? It's all happening today right here on Fox NFL Sunday. And good afternoon, everyone. Hello, I'm James Brown. Welcome to Fox NFL Sunday. Joining me as usual, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and Chris Collinsworth. Now, I normally don't get into the college football talk with you. But excluding Florida, which is in the top 5. Oh, please, only because his team lost. Villanova lost last night. L.A. Tech, Louisiana Tech,
to Auburn.
Helped to snap Auburn's 4-game losing streak.
They lost. Their coach quit on them. What do you think?
Harvard's got the best record of those 3, excluding Florida.
Better than the Villanova Mouseketeers?
Absolutely. We're at 500.
I can't
Look
believe
at you.
that.
Mouseketeers.
You know where all those Florida players are during the bye week?
In the library, studying.
They got their
getting
maps
that
out.
advanced
They got
degree.
their maps out trying to find that library.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's a good
I know what I was thinking where they were, and they wasn't in no library.
All right, folks, it is time now to find out
Harvard really beat somebody.
what's happening behind closed doors in the NFL, Princeton. Contrary to earlier frenzied reports, not here, by the way, the NFL will decide at its owners' meeting this Tuesday not to realign its divisions next season. Instead, the expansion Cleveland Browns will simply slide into their old slot in the AFC Central. Trouble seems to follow Saints quarterback Kerry Collins around, but this time it could be physical. Bucs tackle Warren Sapp said he plans to hunt down the embattled quarterback in today's Bucs-Saints game should Collins play. Sapp also called the Saints quarterback, quote, a coward, and if he doesn't like it, he can meet me after the game in the parking lot, end of quote. Now, Collins, you remember, once used a racial slur at a teammate. Now, the NFL has sent a letter to Sapp on Friday telling him they didn't exactly appreciate his inflammatory comments. League officials will be watching Sapp and Collins very closely today.
In the parking lot?
In the parking lot and on the field. All right, folks, for news happening on the field, let's go to our Fox Watch. And one team to watch is the unbeaten Vikings, as Minnesota has emerged as the NFC's clear-cut Super Bowl contender. Today, the Vikings will be tested by a division rival and a hotshot quarterback who's a rookie. Yes, indeed, Detroit wants badly to end Minnesota's batch of wins. Calling today's game is Pat Summerall. Hello, Pat.
JB, how you doing? Silverdome, we're playing today. So weather is not going to be a factor, but the crowd might be, the noise might be, because they've sold it out. It's over 80,000 people on hand, so both clubs will be bothered by the noise factor. Both of these teams, Detroit and Minnesota, feel like they're better than they were the first time they played when Minnesota won it. Detroit particularly regards this as a must game for them because they needed to stay into the playoff picture at all. But in order to do it, in order to win, they'll have to face one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. In fact, the hottest, Randall Cunningham. His quarterback rating is 15 points higher than that of Steve Young. That's hard to believe, I know. He's thrown for 12 touchdowns, no interceptions this year. As far as the injury are concerned, Jeff Hardings will not start at guard. He's out with a knee injury. This for the Lions. Tony Semple will be in his place. That's pretty much the story from the Silverdome. Now let's send you to the Meadowlands and Dick Stockton.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And the Jets flying high after their Monday night win over the Patriots, and the Atlanta Falcons trying to open up 6-1 for the first time in franchise history. But it'll be a daunting task today because two of their outstanding players out because of injury. Travis Hall, the defensive tackle, and Chris Chandler. A lot has been talked about that situation. Thus, Steve DeBerg is in the spotlight today. At age 44, becomes the oldest player ever to start at any position in NFL history. And earlier, Jets coach Bill Parcells talked about what DeBerg brings to this game.
Well, I think poise. He'll stay collected. I don't think anything can probably rattle him. He's seen most of it. But I do think that, you know, this is his first time under the gun in a while, so we'll just have to see how he responds.
Parcells is matched up against Dan Reeves, the Falcons head coach, both former New York Giant head coaches, and right now Parcells has a 4-0 edge in that particular go. Right now, let's send you to St. Louis and Kenny Albert.
Thanks, Dick. Mark McGuire's season is over, but the records may continue to fall here in St. Louis. Steve Young has already set an NFL record with 6 consecutive 300-yard games, and with his first reception today, Jerry Rice will break Art Monk's NFL record with a catch in 184 consecutive games.
Nah, it'd be an honor. Art Monk, big inspiration for me. So it'll be nice to break this record and carry on the tradition.
And defensively, Antonio Langham burned for 3 touchdowns last week, also sprained his ankle, so Marquez Pope starts at right cornerback as the 49ers look to win their 16th game in a row from the Rams. JB, back to you.
All right, Kenny, thank you very much. In another early game, most of you will see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Saints. The Bucs have won 3 of 4, but Kerry Collins ready to go. Might see some action today. We'll have more on that game later. Others in the Midwest will see the Bears and the Oilers. That's coming up later today. Coverage begins at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central, right here on Fox as we come back inside to talk about San Francisco at St. Louis. St. Louis's offense, Chris, is in the middle of the pack. Do they have a chance at all today against San Francisco?
Absolutely. The way the San Francisco defense is playing right now, you know, we called earlier this season, I did before the season even started, and I asked, how's this defense looking? And everybody was talking about Antonio Langham. They told me, this guy's the next Deion Sanders. You put him just on one half the field, forget about that half the field, you can take it. So I bring it back to Howie Long, and I say, Howie, you know, they're saying this. He said, you ought to go with that. That sounds good. Antonio Langham's on the bench now. Marquez Pope comes in and tries to save this secondary. They've been awful. That's the kind of people I have to deal with on the show. No question about that.
Fox didn't bring you over here to be asking other people what to say.
You know, believe me, I won't be.
Opinionated.
Believe me. You nice goatee. Just go on with your stuff. Just talk into that camera right there.
But Marquez Pope is back in there. But this is the defense giving up almost 400 yards a game. That's not very good. You're not going to win an NFL championship doing that. It's all Steve Young. They're on a pace for 7,000 yards in offense. Once again, you will not win a championship when you have one guy, namely the young quarterback, having to do and carry this entire offense. They've got to get some balance, and nobody knows that more than Mariucci, the head coach.
Steve Young, to this point, the MVP of the league. That offensive line.
No, Randall Cunningham.
Well, I don't know. He hasn't suffered through adversity. 18 sacks that offensive line's given up. Could have been 30 if it wasn't for Steve Young.
Big boy, you're a team player. You didn't tell Chris that, did you?
Yes, he did. I was there when he
sawed off that limb I was on. You wouldn't believe it. Down like a rock.
We are just getting started, so let's see what's on tap for today's show.
Hi, I'm Warren Sapp of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He went right after Favre, got a cornrow to the kisser.
Today on the one and only Fox NFL Sunday.
Last year, the Bucs were the surprise team in the NFC. But now the only thing surprising is when they score. Pam Oliver takes a look at why the Bucs offense rhymes with Bucks. And another struggling Bay team. The Packers are getting set for the Ravens. Susie Colbers at Lambeau Field to examine why the once fabulous Favre has flip-flopped into a funk. Hey, can the Pack make it back, or is it something they lack? Also, you heard him say the Lions were toast for starting a rookie QB.
Charlie Batch in that offense has scored.
But now Chris Collinsworth sucks it up and confronts the man making a Motown revival. Move over, Peyton and Ryan. Rookie Charlie Batch is more than your match. Then we asked you and we asked around the league, should Terry keep his goatee or does it simply have to go? It's all coming up, coming at you. The one and only Fox NFL Sunday.